Burning, so much so, some schools are on delays. That goes into place. That is Cheatham, Lawrence, Cannon, Warren, all of y'all are on a delay, as well as Macon County. Macon, you're one of the new ones. Troisdale, you're out of school today. Roads are just too bad to be traveled on right now. So here's that line. This will be out of here soon, but in order to leave us so fast, it has to have a really fast forward motion. And that forward motion, accompanied with just a lot of instability, means we're getting spin ups, and that's why we have so many areas under a tornado warning. So right now, Lawrence, Giles County, here is the area of concern. It is now just east of Lawrenceburg. As far as the rotation, it is still on the tighter side, but it's not as bad as what it was. So that is an improvement, but you're still under a tornado warning. So if you are in the Lawrenceburg area and you are east of Lawrenceburg, if you're between Lawrenceburg and Pulaski, I need you to get to your safe place immediately as this tornado warning system continues to move its way off to the east, right around 45 miles per hour. So we'll do it right around this way. Still seeing Pulaski around 7:17, if not a few minutes earlier than that, as it will move its way. So still not hearing anything in the way of major issues or even a trained storm spotter seeing it on the ground, but it is warned due to the fact that we do have rotation on the map. And this is going to continue to move right at 45 miles per hour. Flying debris will be dangerous. So, of course, who's got Christmas decorations out? That's why it was so important that you put them up last night. So potential damage to rooftops, windows, vehicles, and we've already had a lot of reports seeing that type of damage in these other storms, particularly the tornado warned storms from this same cluster that we've got now giving us a tornado warning just over into Clay, Overton, Pickett, and that goes until 7:15. It is moving east at 50 miles per hour. The tornado was located 8 miles north of Livingston, and that's when they decided to put a warning on this storm, obviously because of the rotation that has been an issue with it. And of course, it's got that very fast forward motion, and then we're also seeing some gust within it. Take a look at the rotation. Still, goodness gracious, this little cell is just not giving up. If you are in the Livingston area, I need you in your safe place. Don't think twice about it. Get there. You know what to do. We've been over this 100 times. You know it. I know it's frightening. I know it's eerie, and you may just be waking up and you may have a hard time clearing your head on what to do. Get to the safe location. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. I want you to grab your tennis shoes, and if you've got a helmet nearby, I want you to take that with you. If you have a basement, that's where you need to go. If you don't have a basement, I want you to go find the center of your house. And as you're making your way to the center of your house, I want you to close the doors behind you. That's going to help with any type of airflow. We don't want to open windows or anything. You want it to be as tight as possible. Put the drapes down as well as you go. And then I want you to stay there. Have the TV up loud. Stay there until we give you the all clear. It is right now 7:03 on a Monday morning. You are watching News Channel 5. We are going in extended coverage over CBS this morning. I apologize if you were looking forward to seeing some of their stories, but you know what? I'm not going to apologize for keeping somebody safe. We want you to stay safe. If you know people in these areas, I want you to call them, make sure that they are awake and they are alert. So time frame of this looks to be around 7:17 for Double Top. 7:27 around Jamestown. This is for our tornadic warned storm for areas just up to our north. And this has been the same area that we've been watching all morning long. So for Clay, Overton, and Pickett counties until 7:15. We still have another, if you move down to our south, another tornado warning is still with us, and they have now issued a severe thunderstorm warning as well for locations just over into Lincoln, Colbert, Lauderdale, Limestone, Madison. Those obviously are in Alabama, but very close to the state line. I know people have family that, just hop right on over. So make sure that they are aware that is not a tornado warning for them. A tornado warning is for Lawrence and Giles counties. And if you are in Pulaski, I need you still in your safe place. Not ready for you to get up as of yet, because we still have some rotation that is causing some areas of concern as this system continues to move its way just off to the east, right around 45 miles an hour. Okay, real quick, I'm going to still continue to watch these tornado warnings. But I do want to go over to Aaron because, Aaron, it's so important that people understand this line that is just to our north and east. We've got that new tornado warning that had produced several tornado warnings previously, particularly over in Hartsville, and there's damage. What are you seeing?
Yeah, Nikki-Dee, so we actually just got to Hartsville not that long ago in the River Street area, and we immediately saw a tree that was on the road. They've been able to move that off of the road, but of course traffic is now backed up, so we're trying to turn back around to get back to where that was. But we are seeing that rain still coming down here. We've seen some debris across the road, trash cans blown over, definitely tree limbs, but we definitely saw a pretty large branch there as well. So we now know why that they needed to close schools for the day here in Trousdale County because of the damage that they're seeing. Traffic is backed up and it's causing people to be delayed. But right now, definitely what you reported earlier, Nikki-Dee, that heavy wind coming through, a little ponding here as well. So we're going to continue to go through this Hartsville area, look around, see what damage we're seeing, and try to update you more with more reports. But we can tell you we do see some trees down and it's causing some very heavy backup in traffic. But we're going to send it back to you all and continue to keep you updated.
Thank you, Aaron, and we are continuing to stay in contact with each other. Aaron knows what to do. He's a trained storm spotter, so we will continue to keep you updated. I do want to get back to the tornado warned storm over in Overton and Pickett. That's still with us until 7:15. It is moving right around 45 miles an hour, and we're looking at location just 7 miles southwest of Byrdstown, or if you're not familiar with that, near Monroe, and it's moving east right at 50 miles per hour. So here's the warned storm. We have the tornado warning, and it is because of some rotation. I know this rotation is a little difficult to see because of the color scheme, but if you can tell, if you're colorblind, I apologize. I'll put something else on for you, but it is more of that maroon and blush going into the red, and that's where you've got some of that rotation that is an area of concern for our warning. So that's going to continue to move its way just off to our east, right at 50 miles per hour. So we not only have the tornado warning, we're also going to notice that our severe thunderstorm warning is going to be expanded for Fentress, Overton, Pickett, and now Putnam counties. I do want to tell you, if you are in the Cookeville area, your NOAA weather radio transmitter is down. So you will not be getting your alerts via your NOAA weather radio. If you know someone in that area, I would recommend letting them know that. A lot of us rely on our NOAA weather radios, but the transmitter is indeed down for you. And I want to make sure that they have the appropriate information at the appropriate time. So if you do know someone in that area, please let them know so they're not waiting on the wrong information or waiting on something that's not going to actually go off. So let's see what we've got going on with this line right here. Let me see if I can draw it out for you. And it's moving right around 50 miles an hour. So if you are anywhere over in Allred, 7-Eleven, I need you getting in your safe spot right now. You do not have much time. You need to get down immediately. Many layers between you and the outside of the house. Jamestown, 7:32. You've got a little bit more time, but as we know with this cell, it's been going back and forth with weakening and then re-strengthening, and I don't trust it. And that's why I want you to get to your safe place. If that means that you may be late for going somewhere, I guarantee you they're going to understand. And if they don't, well, we'll talk about that later, because we need you to stay safe, and I do not want you out on the roadways. That is just downright silly when we've had this system that has caused so much damage in a lot of spots and continues to be an issue for us. So that's going to continue to move its way off to the east, right at 50 miles per hour. Right now, the strongest circulation now is in the southern Pickett County location, and that's going to continue to move out quite quickly, but of course we're going to keep a close eye on it. And they are looking to reissue the tornado warning, bless it, into northern Fentress County if the circulation maintains. And I tell you what, it does look like it probably will. So y'all, I know it's early in the morning, but we knew this was coming, and hopefully you prepared ahead of time. If not, hey, roll with the punches, get to that safe place. Jamestown, I need you in your safe location, because it does look as if they're about to reissue this tornado warning. And a tornado warning over into Giles, Lawrence, good news, it has now been expired. So over into Lawrence, Giles counties, you are no longer under a tornado warning. According to Lawrence County, one of the spotters reported poorly defined wall cloud at the Giles County line. That report was made around 7:03. So that's the thing with these systems, they quickly bounce in and they quickly try and decrease out. So I'm going to keep a very close eye on the Lawrence-Giles County line as this continues to move out, but thankfully the tornado warning has expired for you. However, we are still dealing with a tornado warning up to our north. They're looking to potentially expand it over the next bit. The circulation is very difficult to see. It's just not defined as well because of the placement of the radar, but it is a tornado warning. So you need to get to the lowest level of your home. Have as many walls between you and everyone else. Cookeville, remember, your NOAA weather radio is down. You're not going to get an alert if something were to happen for you. So I need you to remember that and let someone know, because we do rely so much on the NOAA weather radio. So Byrdstown, you are under a tornado warning. Also seeing that moving its way just off to the east. So Moodyville also, you're going to start to hear winds really picking up. The circulation has weakened just a bit, which is helpful, but it's still not enough that we have expired the tornado warning. And I apologize if you're wanting to watch CBS mornings. We will get to them as soon as possible. But right now, safety is important. You may not live here. You may never have visited this area. If you haven't visited, you're missing out on some good people. And we're going to make sure everybody stays safe. That's what we do here. We take care of each other. And we're looking at this. You can see how the radar kind of shifts on you. That's because it's picking up separate radar transmitters. And because of that, that's why we're getting two separate views of this particular system. So that's going to continue to move its way just off to the east. Here's that long linear line. Things are beginning to weaken in spots, but still having some issues. Right now, a severe thunderstorm warning has now been placed in Cumberland, Fentress, and Overton, Pickett, and Putnam counties until 8 o'clock. It does have the potential for a spin-up tornado. It's the same part of the line we have been talking about all morning long. It's the same part of the line that went through Stewart County that has so many roads in Stewart County absolutely blocked that school bus drivers are turning around and having to find alternate ways. It is the same part of the line that had tornado warnings for areas over into Todd and Logan County. It's the same part of the storm that also caused quite a bit of damage in Hartsville as well. This is such a fickle spot, and it is one not to put our defense down as of yet. I realize some of you were not even under a warning or a watch earlier, but things change. The weather is very fluid. So here's our tornado warning right around into Byrdstown, and it continues to move its way east right around 50 miles per hour. So sunset, you're getting some really high winds, some heavy rain, as well as going into Moodyville. You're just outside of the tornado warned area. Now you'll notice the bulk just moved in. We just got that brand new scan. And with that being said, the tornado warning is anticipated to expire at 7:15. And we will see if that's what happens. And if so, we're going to hop over to Cole in just a few minutes. He's been having a lot of issues on the roadways in locations that not necessarily had a tornado warning right now. It's other spots that are just dealing with the wind as well as the rain. So here's some of that heavy rain as well as a little bit of rotation still with that particular storm. Winds, obviously something to consider. Winds are still gusting, and look how those temperatures are falling. With something so dramatic, you know it's got to be something strong to cause it. And that's why you're seeing 50s and 60s out there with 40s on the flip side. We're all going to end up in the 40s as soon as this goes down, and it is going to be a cold day. It's one of those backwards days. What you feel at the start is not what you get at the end, and that's going to be refreshing to some, and it's going to make some people wake up. So still keeping a close eye on these two cells. Things are looking better. The expiration for the tornado warning in Giles in Lawrence County has taken place. I'm not sure why it's still popping up on our map, but things are looking better for you. And this other one should expire coming up in just about 1 minute or so. As far as reports are concerned, we're seeing a lot of spots with trees down. Some windows are shattered with when you've got a little bit of debris in there. And of course, even some power outages. In fact, EMA director is now reporting power outages in Pickett, and winds right there for you guys around 50 miles per hour for your gusts. So that is for Pickett County as this line continues to move its way through. It's moving at a nice pace, so it's not going to be with us all day, but obviously so, it does bring quite the punch. So when it comes to school closures, we have Trousdale. That is our only school closure. We do have several school delays: Macon, Cheatham, Camden, Warren, and Lawrence County. You are on a school delay for the morning. Elsewhere, we are still running on time with the exception of those locations. Right now, thankfully, not seeing anything in the way of tornado warnings. We will take that as a win, but we don't know. It's not looking as if we are completely finished yet, because now we do have a tornado warning that has just now been issued for Fentress and Pickett County until 7:45. So a severe thunderstorm capable of producing tornado, same spot, same dance. We're dealing with it all over again for these locations. It'll populate in just a second. This is just breaking in from the National Weather Service. Fentress and Pickett counties, you guys are now going to be under a tornado warning. And it has now been extended until 7:45. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. So extended until 7:45. It's hard to see. I'll populate it for you without the sweeping radar, so it makes it a little easier. So you can tell this is the one that was just over to Byrdstown, is now exited, and now is north of Jamestown. So Jamestown, you're not technically in this warned location, but you'll notice Moodyville, you're still in the warned area as it continues to move to your east. We're about to wrap it up for you, but you still have some wind and some rain on the flip side of that will be taking place. We need you to take cover now if you're over to Forbes, as well as areas over to Squirrel Flat, Sharp Place. I need you in your safe place. Get to the lowest level of your home. If you do not have a basement, I want you to get to the center of your house, a room without any windows, 0 windows. It may be something you got to get creative about. You may have to go in a pantry, or you may need to head your way over into a hall bath or a small closet, but you need to get in the lowest level of your home. The rotation on this is still enough to be a concern, and I really don't like how that looks at all. So please get to the lowest level. If you know someone in this area, make sure that they are staying safe. It is moving its way right around 45 and 50 miles an hour. Cole, I'm going to point this out for you, and then if you want to give us an update on the traffic in just a second. So here we go right now. We're moving its way 45 miles an hour, and the timing of this looks to be around into Moodyville 7:17. That's right now. New Haven 8:53. That's if it stays in this area. So we're going to continue to keep a very close eye on this. And Cole, it is messy out there. I know we've been focusing a lot on certain spots, basically our far northeast and our far southwest so far this morning, but there's a lot in between. There's a lot of traffic in between, people trying to get into some major cities.
Thank you so much, Nikki-Dee. There is a lot going on. If anyone can hear me right now, somehow you can hear us on the road, but anyone that's about to leave, you need to slow down. You need to take your time because these roads are messy. So here is I-440. It's in the Belmont Boulevard area. This is a multiple vehicle crash. You can see there's a lot going on down here with this accident, and you can see that backup. Everyone's moving pretty slowly. Also, when this is kind of happening, you want to make sure that you give these folks a lot of room. You want to move over as much as you can because they're trying to do their job, so you want to be able to let them do that. So a lot going on in this area. Then also towards the Antioch area, this is I-24 east of Briley Parkway. I believe TDOT says it's on eastbound side, but you can see that there's that crash there as well. And this is just a single vehicle crash, but these things can happen when these roads are so slick. Let me step over here so you can see these roads. Look how shiny that is. Those are soaked, and I've seen spots where you're seeing a lot of splash up coming up from those cars in different parts all around town. So you want to make sure that you are just paying attention and going slow. Have those headlights on. I can't preach this enough because we've been seeing disabled vehicles, multiple vehicle accidents, injury crashes popping up all over, and it's going to cause a lot of issues, and it's extremely dangerous for you, for drivers. So you just want to be sure to just be prepared as you're heading out this morning. So make sure that you're packing those patience. I know we say that phrase a lot, but it is so true in these kinds of situations. But we also have some more information. I want to show you quick this crash map here. So you can see, like I said, there's crashes popping up all over, and this map is so many different colors. We have red, orange, yellow, green, means it's a mess, really. But I also want to talk to Mount Juliet drivers here quickly. This happened about an hour ago that Mount Juliet police tweeted this out. They said there's a crash in each direction reported on I-40 near the 226 mile marker. So Mount Juliet drivers, if you can hear me before you head out, make sure that you're doing that and paying attention for that drive, because you might want to give yourself a few extra minutes. And then I also want to quickly go over to Clarksville in Montgomery County specifically. Their sheriff's office tweeted out, due to the intense overnight weather, county units are working multiple weather-related traffic problems through the entire county, they say, and as of right now, nothing is life-threatening, so that's some good news. But you can see here on the map, there's a lot of different spots that are lit up in a different color, so that means that there are some issues that people are dealing with this morning. And so they're also saying, again, give yourself some extra time this morning. We want you guys to be able to get to where you're going safe this morning. And you know, it's always scary when this kind of weather is happening, but we have Nikki-Dee who is helping us guide through it. Nikki-Dee, over to you.
I hope I can give you guys a little bit of peace and comfort, because storm anxiety is real. I've been getting emails from several of y'all saying you haven't slept a wink because you've been frightened. I don't want you to feel alone, and don't feel silly for being frightened. We have been through so much together, and we're going to get through this together. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to reach out. There's something about comfort knowing somebody's awake, and I've been awake with you since 11:30 last night, and I'm not leaving you. So here's what we've got going on. As Cole mentioned, we've got a lot of splash taking place, areas, major arteries moving into the Nashville area. Those are areas of concern for travel. But I want to talk about the areas of concern for weather, and this is still that same part of this squall line I've been watching all morning long. It has issued, I'll have to count in a little bit, but I'm pretty sure about 6 or 7 tornado warnings from this exact location in the line. It has been very fickle and frustrating, to say the least, because I know some of you, once you hear, okay, you know, the rotation has decreased, you feel better. And then I have to come right back and say, hey, it's decreasing again. This is a very difficult spot to pinpoint, simply because we're changing radar sites. And when you change radar sites, you don't necessarily get the bright greens and bright reds. They tend to be a little different. So if you're colorblind, this can be difficult to understand, but we're here and we'll keep you informed. But here's the area of concern right here as the rotation continues to move its way just off to the east. The rotation isn't as intense as what it was, but we're still dealing with the concern because it has all the ingredients it needs to produce another tornado. And regardless if it actually produces the tornado on the ground, it is going to bring some damage to some spots. This is the part of the cell that has caused trees down. This is the reason we've got power outages in a lot of spots as well. This is the reason some schools are closed today, such as Trousdale. Please heed the warning. Be smart about it. I know sometimes we get severe weather fatigue. You know, we've been there, we've done that, we're fine. Just do it, you know. You just got to be safe, and I want you to be safe. So here's where we are still dealing with the tornado warning. It has been indicated by the radar. It's currently 7:22, and it's going to be with us until around 7:45 this morning. This is for Fentress and Pickett counties. And as I move it back over just a little bit, I'm swapping up radars. I apologize. I know that's probably annoying for you, but it's important for me to see what we've got going on. This is about to exit soon. Also, yeah, I saw that too. Shoot. So circulation has strengthened again in the northern portion of Fentress County. So we're going to keep a very close eye on that as it does move out, but it will be moving out soon, which will be very beneficial for us. Now, we still have a severe thunderstorm warning for Bedford, Coffee, and Giles, as well as Marshall counties. The main threat with these storms, I know we've been focused a lot on the tornado warnings, but I do want you to know one of the main focuses also has been wind. Wind threats, we've had winds going upwards of 60 to 68 miles an hour. That is a lot to take place, so please be advised. Just getting this in, thank you so much, Cole. Nashville Electric Service, as the severe weather threat leaves our area, crews are working to restore power to just over 2,500 customers.
Look at that. You can see, looks like an RV hit this school bus here. Not sure what the impact of that is. We're going to get out there and try our best to try to talk to people, but you can just see how strong those winds are, how much that rain, how much damage is caused here in the Hartsville area. So Nikki-Dee, you mentioned that earlier. You can just see just how strong those winds are, but all you see right now in the Hartsville community are down trees, down power lines, also a bunch of first responders, but it looks like this is the area that was definitely hit very hard. Now, there was a street that was blocked in the downtown area of Hartsville. They have now removed that tree, but Nikki-Dee, I know you're still tracking those storms out there, so it's very dangerous conditions out here.
It is, and Aaron, I'm not gonna lie, I mean, you see the school bus toppled over. That brings tears to your eyes because there could have been school bus drivers out on those roads picking up children, and just thankfully they had the wisdom ahead of time to delay school, and now their school is canceled. That was one of the tornado warnings that was major concern. Of course, it's not just the tornado warnings, it's major backups on the roadways. This is I-65 for you. Right now, the tornado warning that I've got that is currently with us is that we are looking over in Pickett County, where you guys are still under a tornado warning. This is the same part of the system that went through that location Aaron just told you about. I mean, it's just been so fickle all morning long, and we're going to continue to watch it as it exits out. Lawrenceburg, you had a tornado warning just a bit ago. We are getting reports of trees down and some power outages, but overall we're not seeing anything as far as school bus, a big situation as that. So that is a praise in itself, and your schools are on a 2-hour delay. Here's the look at the system right now. It is continuing to move its way off to our east, varying between ranges of 45 and 50 miles an hour. We're keeping a close eye on this. As soon as it gets here, it will start to exit. The strongest part of the storm all morning long, and I say all morning, starting around 1, 2 o'clock, has been areas just to the north and east. So this right here, that's the main concern. That's what brought in power outages over in Stewart County. I was talking to Stewart County earlier. School buses are having to be rerouted because there are trees down in so many spots. And if you put it into consideration and also think about the path it's been on, it's been right north of the city where we've had the most activity and the most amount of damage so far. But you don't have to have a tornado warning to have power outages and damage. We're seeing that all over Brentwood, going over into the Nashville area. I mean, they are busy out there this morning, and we're not done with the weather as of yet. So right now, you head your way down to our south. You'll notice this was the cell that was in Lawrenceburg and is about to exit our viewing area. Of course, just because it exits our viewing area doesn't mean that it's done, but it will be wrapped up for us, and it will be carried by another local TV station in those areas. But we want you to stay safe, informed, as well as connected. This particular tornado warning is right around into the Fentress Pickett area. It's with us until 7:45. It is moving east at 50 miles per hour. So we're going to see that moving out quickly, which will give a little bit in the way of relief, but we still have, regardless, you'll notice that we have got that severe thunderstorm warning for Cumberland, Fentress, Overton, Pickett, and Putnam. That is going to be with us until 8 o'clock this morning. That particular line is going to continue to move its way off to the east and help us out. Oh my stars, I'm just now getting some information in, and I do want to share with you. This is a live picture. We just found out over in Hartsville, that school bus that you see right there that flipped over, the school bus driver was in it when it flipped. He is okay. That is the best news that we can give you this morning. Bethany, our executive producer, thank you, along with Greg, making sure we get this shot up. So good news there. He is okay, and there were no children on board. They're trying to gather more details with Aaron, and we'll have more of that coming up soon. And you know what? I hope that's the only one that we have to talk about of an up and rolled over school bus. So that same line that did that to the school bus is still moving its way out, and we still are dealing with some tornado warnings for Fentress. That's going to continue to exit as it's going right around 50 miles per hour. In the city, Davidson County, I mean, you got a few sprinkles out there. Things are looking better. Winds, as far as the gusts are concerned, they're now shifting out of our north, and so you're going to notice it feeling real cold real fast. Current temperatures over in Hopkinsville, 45, but look at McMinnville. You're still at 63. You see Fayetteville? You're still at 63. So when you just look at the number-wise, you can tell who still is dealing with that summertime atmosphere, the humidity, and it's got to exit before the system will be done with its work. So please be mindful. If you're still warm out there, you're not done as of yet. Not saying that to frighten you, but hey, Don't you want to know the truth? That's what we're getting. So we're getting possible damage reports over in Monroe area of Overton County. Still waiting to hear confirmation on what exactly they are looking at right there. Don't forget, Cookeville, your NOAA weather radios, they're off signal. You are not going to be alerted that way. So please, if you know someone in that area, make sure that they are aware as the system continues to make its way just off to the east. Getting a lot of reports of power outages and trees down all over the Monroe area, but also that's outside of Overton County. We got that happening right here. I mean, NES, they have been so busy working to restore power, also seeing that just over into Stewart County. So once we can wrap up this tornado warning, I'll feel more comfortable getting us tossed over. I know you guys have lots going on, and it's tough sometimes when you're not talking about your specific location, but these are friends and family, and I'm going to stay with them until we're good. When it comes to rotation right now, closer to the belt buckle, it's not a major concern for me right now. Petersburg, I mean, that would be something that I'm going to continue to watch. But overall, it's looking a lot better than what it was earlier. Still picking up some pieces as far as damage reports are concerned, even in areas over in Clarksville, Dixon, and even the Nashville area as daylight does take its way and the rain does clear out. All the rain will be out of here before lunch. All of it. That's how fast the system was moving. So they're going to continue to have a severe thunderstorm warning for Franklin, Lincoln, and Moore counties. That's right along our Alabama-Tennessee state line until 8 o'clock. And we still have our severe thunderstorm warning for locations to our north and just off to the east. And still dealing with, of course, that tornado warning for Pickett. It's supposed to expire around 7:45. So it's 11 minutes from now that we look for that to expire because it's going pretty fast at a decent speed, right around 50 miles per hour. So because of that, it should not be with us for too much longer. So here where we got a lot of lightning over into Shelbyville, Boones Hill, Mulberry, none of y'all are under a tornado warning, but we do have some spots with severe thunderstorm warnings. And then here's our tornado warning right now. Let's look again at the wind. I mean, we're about to wrap this one up. It still does have some rotation and there are still some issues, but it does look better. I still want you to be in your safe place though until it is all clear. Jamestown, you're good. You can get out of your safe place. And we're about to wrap this up as it continues to move its way rapidly just off to the east. But still a lot of questions, concerns over in the Shelbyville, Fayetteville area because even though it is moving its way eastward and we're getting a little bit more stable, we still have quite the environment that hasn't been truly tampered with, and that is just going to try and really, these storms are going to try and soak it up and become stronger and more mature. Thankfully, the rotation, though, is looking to behave a little bit, but as we saw to our north and east, that same line always carrying a bit of concern with it. So that'll be another one to watch, but as far as at Lawrenceburg Utilities, they're reporting scattered power outages south of US 64 in Lawrence County. About 155 customers affected. And y'all, with the wind that we had, that's not too bad. Is it, obviously causing some people to be a little aggravated, but it could be a lot worse. Good news to report. We have now expired the tornado warning for Fentress and Pickett counties. We are all clear currently of any tornado warnings. That red will pop off in just a few minutes. We still have severe thunderstorm warnings for several locations over to our friends just over into Fentress, Overton, as well as parts of Putnam County, Cumberland, and then you move over to Marshall, Bedford, Moore, Franklin, Lincoln. Right along to our south of I-40, that's the cluster I'm going to be watching the most over the next bit because I do look for everything to our north to start to ease on out. So that is some good news to finally report. It is 7:36. You are watching News Channel 5. We have had continuing coverage for tornado warnings. That is why you're not currently seeing CBS this morning, but we thank you for your patience and we also thank you for your kindness that you have towards areas that may not be where you live, but you are giving them the appropriate information at the nice time that they need it in. So thank you for your cooperation. We do appreciate it. And Cole, I appreciate you. You've kept a very close eye on the roadways, major backups in spots that it's really not even raining much anymore.
Yeah, there are a lot of different incidents happening really all over the area. You can take a look at the traffic crash map here. And I want to look down at I-24 from in the Antioch area because we're seeing multiple crashes there. Here's a quick look at one of them. This is at I-24 east of Haywood Lane. And I was told, or according to Smartway, we have that, according to Smartway on the map, we have the, they're on the eastbound side. So we have this, you see this truck here off the side of the road. You can see that it's causing a bit of a slowdown there, but I also want to take you over this way to I-440 west of I-65 junction. Slow down there, multiple cars blocking multiple exits there. And you can see that slowdown is also causing some issues for drivers this morning. So a bit of a headache as you're going around. You really can't find a spot where it's not going to cause a little bit of issue for your slowdown. So that's some rough news as you're heading out for your Monday today. But we also want to take a look. Oops, wrong button here. Hang on. Stick with me here. So I actually wanted to show you guys this map from Clarksville. Let me get out of the way here because this is something we know that Aaron's been in this area. We know that Nikki-Dee's been talking about it, but we got a tweet from the Montgomery Sheriff's Office, and I wanted to talk about this again one more time for all those Clarksville folks. The good news is it looks not too bad in most of the areas. It's very green in a lot of spots, but the Sheriff's Office tweeted, due to the intense overnight weather, county units are working multiple weather-related traffic problems throughout the entire county. As of right now, nothing is life-threatening, and they recommend you give yourself some extra time. And I mean, that's the big story today is give yourself some time because things are going to be pretty nasty out there today. And we also know that the NES is dealing with some power outages. So there's a lot going on. There's going to be a lot of people out on the road. And just a quick look, I want to give you a wider image here of the big area here so you can see a lot of issues today. And all this red, green and blue, that is the rain. So things are definitely pretty wet out there. And Nikki-Dee, we're going to send it back over to you. What is the latest update you got for us?
Well, we are looking at another circulation. But you know what? We were ready for this because we knew how fickle those two clusters of storms have been. We had several tornado warnings, the one to our north. We've had several. This is the same one that was over in Lawrence and Giles counties, and looking at a potential other spin up. So let me take you to the maps where we are picking up on some windy issues. This is seeing some circulation. It is not yet warned as a tornado warning. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in place, but we are looking at some circulation. Basically, it's going to be seeing some of that closer to the southern Bedford County location that's near the Flat Creek community of south of Shelbyville, where we are seeing some of that circulation, and it is a bit concerning. This is going to be one that we really watch over the next, actually a tornado warning is coming out for it as we speak. I have to tell you, the National Weather Service, they do such a great job and we all work so well together. A lot of people think, you know, weather is, or TV is such a competition. It's not when it comes to weather. And y'all, it's been amazing seeing everybody really care about the safety of you. And that is what it is about, and working well together. And because of that, we are able to get breaking information. When I see something, they see it, and vice versa. And that's how we get the alerts out to you faster and faster. Tornado warning now in place, Bedford and Coffee counties. This goes until 8:15. Right now it is 7:40. So Bedford, Coffee County, you're under a tornado warning until 8:15. This has been a severe thunderstorm warning, but now because of the rotation located near Tulahoma, which is pretty easy to see for you right there, that is why we are going with the tornado warning. So 8 miles southeast of Shelbyville, if you're familiar, it is moving its way eastward at 55 miles per hour. If you are in Tulahoma, I need you in your safe place now. Don't lollygag, just go. Lowest level of your home. If you're in Hillsboro, I know it's still a ways from you. I want you to go ahead and get there. Because at the forward speed that we have of 55 miles per hour, you're not gonna have a lot of time to get to the safe place. Don't wait until it's too late. We've already seen school buses upside down. And praise the Lord, the driver walked away from it, or his injuries were not a large issue. We know what we've got. This is over in Bedford County, where we're going to take a live look in just a few minutes of this tornado warned area over in Bedford and Coffee County. This is going to be with us until 8:15 as the system moves its way just off to our east, 55 miles per hour. So if you're in the Hillsboro area, I need you to get in your safe place. Tullahoma, I know you're there now. Lowest level of your home. And if you do not have a basement, I want you to leave your exterior rooms. And I want you to close the doors behind you. Make sure your garage door's down if you were to have a garage. And then I want you to get to the center of your house. Some of you have to get creative. We know a lot of these homes these days are built very open concept. You may be squeezed in a pantry. You might be squeezed in a hall closet. Get there. Just get there, and we will continue to keep you safe as this system makes its way. So this is our new tornado warning, and tornado warned circulation is now headed for Tulahoma. If you are in Tulahoma, I need you not to move. Stay where you are. It is right on top of you. White Oaks, 759. Hillsboro, 804. Pelham, 811. Going just over into Trace City, 822. Tracy City, please get to your safe place. Tullahoma, this is not one to mess around with. This circulation is one that has been concerning from the start, and it is now beginning to mature just a bit. So this is kind of a very similar, almost deja vu of the system that we had to our north, where it was going to go through a town, and it did. So we've got the tornado warning, also a tornado warning for Moore, Tennessee, and that's going to be with us until 8:15. I know some of you are getting a little tired of hearing all of this, and I know it can be fatiguing at times, but your safety is first. So Tullahoma, under the tornado warning, this is where we're seeing those winds going against each other. There's a very strong cold front. It's going to continue to move its way just off to the east, and because of that, Hillsboro is now under a tornado warning as well. So just because you are a little ways out, it's moving so fast, it's going to really get there in a very fast manner. So let's kind of pinpoint things out. I'll give you the time frame. We'll step away from this and let's head our way, just kind of pinning it out. And obviously, this isn't the gospel. It can wobble a few miles, and that can change everything quite quickly. So we do have that tornado warning. Tullahoma around 7:52. Looks to be for you guys. Black Jack 8:01. Pelham 8:17. So that's part of our system that continues to move its way out. We are dealing with some calmer situations as you head your way off to the west, because they dealt with it first. And we had those areas that we were very concerned about to our north that tracked its way with on and off tornado warnings all morning long. I'm talking since around 2:30 this morning. It's been a cell to watch. Now we've got this cell down to our south. All of this is associated with this cold front. We've got winds now out of our north. You've got that southerly flow, and where it's basically unzipping, that is the area of concern. Once we finish that, we will be sitting pretty, just really cold. So the timing of this, Tullahoma, I need you in your safe place right now. Don't think twice about it. Don't get out. Stay there. Be smart. Go to the lowest level of your home. If you have a little bit of time, so our friends just over into Blackjack, I want you to go ahead and get your tennis shoes. If you have children with you, get their tennis shoes. If they've got a bike helmet, grab that. Get to the lowest level of your home, stay there. I understand with young ones, it can be very difficult and challenging to keep everybody contained in a small space, but this is a tornado warning, and I want you to do it, and you can do it. You've got everything you need to stay safe. You know what to do. We've practiced this so many times, so I want you to take advantage of your knowledge and the wisdom that we've got, and let's get to those safe locations. So this line is moving at a very fast speed, which is really great for us. But because of the forward motion and the gusty winds within it, it does make for some tricky situations. And that's why we are looking at this tornado warning. Same warned location that was in Lawrence and Pulaski that has now shifted its way eastward. And that's why we're looking at that over in Tullahoma as well as Manchester. Now, Irving College, you're still pretty far from this, but because of its reputation, it would be wise to just kind of keep an eye out and be aware of what's going on. Right now, we are getting some strong circulations entering northern Tullahoma, and basically that is just north of the airport. So if you know where that is, over in the Tullahoma area, that's where we're seeing some really strong rotation taking place. And you can tell, look, goodness gracious. I mean, that is some very strong rotation. This is all still simply warned by the radar, but that is a very reliable source, as you can see it happening right now. So still seeing that closer to the Terra Estates. That's where we're seeing some pretty heavy rotation. Very likely there's a tornado now just north of the Tullahoma Airport in Tullahoma, which obviously, as you know, is Coffee County. So just north of the area is where we're seeing the strongest rotation taking place. It is moving its way east right around 55 miles per hour. So it does have quite the forward motion, but of course with that, we've got the spin up. So if you know where the Tulahoma Airport is, we're talking to you. Be mindful. You've got to be in your safe place. Get there now. If you are near the airport, get to your safe location. So closer look for you. I mean, I'm about to make you dizzy in some spots, but I do want to get as close as we can to look at some of these streets. Terra Estates is one of those, as well as Country Club Drive in the area. If you know closer to the airport, Short Springs Road, I need you to get to your safe place as the system is moving its way east. JD Neal Road. If you are familiar with any of these locations, you should already be in your safe spot this morning. They're continuing the tornado warning as we get closer to that 8 o'clock hour. It goes until 8:15. And if you're just now watching, we apologize for taking over CBS Mornings, but lives matter, and we want everybody to be safe during this weather. It has been quite a turbulent overnight. We've had numerous, I think we're almost up to a dozen tornado warnings. This tornado warning is coming off the heels of another tornado warning that the rotation did broaden a little bit, and now the rotation has gotten a little too close for comfort. And with that being said, we are looking at the potential of a tornado just north of the Tulahoma Airport. And we should be able to get some answers in just a few minutes as far as what they are seeing at the airport. Obviously, that will be from their cameras because they are all in their safe location, as they should be. So Hillsboro, this is heading into your direction. If you're over in the Pelham area, you're just outside of the tornado warned area, but the projection is due east, so you're going to get close, but the rotation, the spot of concern is looking to stay to your north, but you're still going to have some damaging winds. It's just where we're seeing these little notches, these little bitty issues that are taking place. So that's over in the Manchester area as well. Blackjack, I need you in your safe place. Forest Mills, get to the lowest level now. As you get to the middle of your house, close the doors behind you. Make sure your windows are closed, the garage is down, and get to the bottom floor or the center of the home. We're getting indication that there is likely a tornado near the south side of Lake Tulahoma. It is continuing to move its way eastward. So just off the locations to the south side of Lake Tulahoma as it continues to move off to the east at 55 miles per hour. A lot of lightning associated with this as well. Heavy rain, it is very difficult to see, and it is also really loud. And I know that can be frightening, and I totally understand the anxiety that some of us do have growing up with these storms, living through storms, seeing storms, and it is okay to be anxious, but I don't want you to be frightened. You know what to do. Get to that lowest level, okay? If your children are confused, talk through it. Get to the low level. Get their little lovey, get their stuffed animal, bring a steak. We are going to bring a snack. Make sure that they do have something so you're not having to go bounce back and forth from in and out. But right now, of course, we do have that tornado warning, and we do have someone that is communicating with some family members that is very helpful. And we're going to see what they've got to say in just a few minutes. But right now, we do want to keep you safe. And then we'll head over to Aaron in a few minutes. He's got more updates on another cell that did cause quite a bit of damage. But this right here, I don't feel comfortable leaving as of yet with the rotation as strong as it is. And it's so well defined. This is right around into Tulahoma. Lake Tulahoma, it is moving eastward right around 55 miles per hour. This has had quite the reputation of severe weather over the past bit, and of course even tornado warned not too long ago. So Lakewood Golf and Country Club, that's going to be some locations that we're keeping a close eye on. That is south and just east of Lake Tulahoma, and we're looking at the potential for the main part of it to be right around the Lake Tulahoma area on the south side. So Country Club Drive, if you know where Carroll Creek is, that's an area of concern. It's moving its way just off to the east. You'll notice the areas continuing close to some businesses across the area. That's where we want you to stay inside and do not leave, because we are seeing that rotation, and it really is continuing to stay quite consistent. And if there's a tornado there, we will also be able to track it quite a bit, and it's going to be just north of the airport to the golf course on the south side of the lake. So that area I was just telling you about, it's going to be on the south side of the lake as it moves its way closer to the golf course area. And if you know anything about a golf course, they're pretty flat. So the movement of a tornado needs to have something so it can dissipate, and we're going to keep a close eye on that. So they're not seeing any tornado debris signatures, which is really great, but we're not sure if the tornado has touched down or not. One thing we do know for sure, you're seeing some eerie clouds. A little uncomfortable to look up and see this because we do indeed have that circulation that is still with us close to the Tulahoma airport, moving just east at 55 miles per hour. So even though over into Blackjack, I want you to get in your safe place. You're still a little north of the center, but as it moves its way in, we're gonna have some really gusty winds. Getting reports of trees down, power lines down in Mayberry Road area in the Tulahoma location. So Marbury Road in Tulahoma, you've got a lot of trees down. No need to go out there and look right now, but that's what we are getting reports of as the storm system continues to move its way just off to the east. So we're talking about in between the Lakewood Golf and Country Club area and then north of Robert E. Lee Elementary School. So the elementary school is also north of the middle school. So it's in between those two areas that are of most concern right now with this center of circulation moving its way east. So that is actually still just north and a little bit off to the west of 55 as it moves its way through. So still dealing with a tornado warning. The tornado warning is supposed to continue to stay with us until we get to the 8 o'clock time frame. Right now it is 7:53. Broader look out quickly for some of you.